Swing the iron like Samson, I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, oh they lies, this hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Suckle up and stay alert. Another cop just stretch the nigga. He ain't demon, this an exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. You took that open blood, then you know I'm gonna get active with you. Fuck the opposition, Jacob Sidewalk, we gon' run the summer. It's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but their question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't do that. Bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young pay. How you real triggering on them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? What he saying something, I ain't hear him. This shit light. It ain't about who got the gun, it's about who gon' up their fight first. I turn a bad situation to a game changer. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raise up the chain. Bring shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand that feeds you, you'll never get that hand back. He bitching about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, he's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. A certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, out with that hollow side, yeah, this the rim McCoy. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still up on my bread, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get it, boy, lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy. All jokes aside, you know how niggas be like, I'm this and that for life, this and that for life. I'm on rest for life, nigga, this a blood oath. Hey, yo, Madara, here go a class for you, my nigga. 140 for the rubber. The world turned its back on me. I'm a cripple. We got soldiers, he got soldiers, but I got different ones. Ain't no way out, I'll tell you once. Don't pray for nothing, send a curse. We can't forgive what's forbidden. Remain in the trenches. Trust in the Lord, but please give me for the times that I did. You bring his gift, have your respect, your apprentice. Be about your business, these loyalties and left sinners. Look, trying to pick up with a blind man. In the mansions, I'm just grinding for my time share. Them devils ain't playing fair, they hunt you like bad pal. But ain't no getting out the game like you want. You take that oath, it's a Dundee. They try to deal death to a priest. You won't make it out in one piece. So you can stand, just make sure you got the heart. Say your name 3 times, and it's death do us part. No. So how you feel about this truth I done shown? This ain't the life you think, little nigga. I should want. Even your own people go disown. And the Lord said they hate you for my name, so you better keep it on. Ain't no more guessing, ain't no more questions. Make sure my election till I'm tucked away like George Jetson. Murder for capital Nines, murder at the Capitol. The world in amazement, we like fucking raise it, raise it. I pity those watching life as it go by. Be giving mercy in this life, I don't know why. In pub smoke, never try to. The dead at home, my brother be the dead. That's all I know. It's a photo to loot. They like, how you stay focused? I told you. Brotherhoods and weapons still got weapons on the scene. Now I never do my niggas like Bishop did Raheem. Never mind in all beliefs. They under anesthesia. Shorty say she leave me, say she wanna let that love go. Told I let that love grow. But if I bring you to my bed, that's a blood oath. So, how you feel about this truth I done shown? This ain't the life you think, little nigga. I should want. Even your own people gon' disown. And the Lord said they hate you for my name, so you better keep it on. Yeah, yeah. West no contest, we the best to the niggas that's living, trying to contend with the stress, going through the test, no access, cause you oppressed slaves. Niggas is dying off in waves, living in dirt, now it's a grave. Niggas cross talk over the cross walking or the white chalk over the bodies of roads that you paid. Americans killing us, saying they fearing us, put the drugs in the hood. Now my niggas delirious, put a gun in my face, all because of my race. Click, boom, flash, some Skittles to murder my ass. Like a sheep to the slaughter, heart beating harder, ain't harder. These words, I never dip in me water, so now we pray to the Father. Give strength to the Father that's looking for the marauders, that's fucking taking our daughters. It's wartime. Lights up, nigga, showtime. Got the green light on that ass, yeah, go time. Either boot up, shut up, but get your ass up, cause we ain't got time to be playing this all fucked up America. Heaven for the thief, hell for the slave, reaping what you sow, meaning giving back what you gave for a clean slate. You try to imitate, you was always fake. America, every city, state, this is your fate. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, 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 to America.
On the timeline, giving the rhythm to expose the intricacies of things. Vibe, who am I? The right shit. But getting lit is a pastime, so in a minute, I'm gonna pass out. I hope you get it. If you didn't, you can crash fine. Kinda simple if you feel it, past your last line. But it will confuse a bad mind. A damn shame. That's the exact thing. Don't get your ass fried. Bombs from the sky, rich devil lullaby. Then the nigga fly. Hope you got an alibi. Bombs from the sky, rich devil lullaby. Devil is high. I can see him from the parking lot. Never finna ball out. Devils finna fall out. All out warfare, nightmares in the big houses that murdered us for years and thinking shit was gonna turn around. Pride never learned. This motherfucker burns down. Yelled in the streets. Told him to breach. All of you angels bring woe to this beast. You rule for a time, but we play for keeps. I pray to my Father, bring woe to this beast. Remember them times we hung on them trees. All of you nations bow down to your knees. Remember the ships, they brought us in fleets. Fuck they Apollo, bring them the heat. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, whoa, to America. Whoa, 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 to America. Whoa, whoa, whoa. To America.
God is going to destroy this empire, man. You about to see famine in this place. You think them fires in California is bad? That's just the beginning of what the Lord is about to do. Because you've been evil to the Lord's people. You've been wicked to the Most High's children, man. You've been destructive to the 12 tribes of Israel. Let me tell you something, black man. You got to put on your strength now, man. Put back on your strength and light, black man, because your day is coming. Your day is coming because the Lord is going to bring judgment on this earth.
All right, shalom, everybody. This is the INCBK. We started out in 1 West Harlem, New York. Under Commander Johnny Hanna, we teach that the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the true children of the Bible, and that we must obey these laws, statutes, and commandments if we want to get back in power. Now, if y'all have, I know y'all click on the thumbnail, y'all see the title. That on my thumbnail that I put up is a screenshot from my group chat of my family in the world. You know what I mean? And of course, we trying to get them to, you want your family to come inside the truth, right? So every now and again, I might post something that might stir the pot. And with this particular post, they opted to vote me out the family. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's ever happened before ever, but they voted to evict me out the family. It's wild to me, man. And they actually voted. Like, there's a couple people that actually voted, Officer Call. They actually voted. Now, granted, my whole family ain't savage like that, so I did get to stay in. But just the sheer fact that they would vote for me, you know what I mean? And all I did was post a video, and then I say, I agree with this pastor. Because so give y'all some context, there's this pastor, this oppressor, right? This oppressor, this video was clipped. This video clip was from, like, I don't know, I want to say the 80s or the 70s. And this oppressor said that he's not going to marry white women to black men because the pastor said that it was ungodly to do so. And I had posted that video and I said, I agree with him that black and white should not do no interracial marriage. You know what I mean? And my family chat went crazy, man. I mean, I had posted that video at like 4 o'clock in the morning. I had woke up around 2 o'clock and the chat was just full of messages, man. It took me a couple of hours to read through it because it's just so much I had to go up, I had to scroll up, you know what I mean? I'm like, God damn, I didn't know they were so adamant about this subject. But yeah, they voted to kick me out the chat. And the first verse I want to go to real quick, I'm gonna get on my computer, I'm gonna bring it on my laptop, right? Oh, and Slack it, and shout out to the chat. You know what I mean? I see my Ottawa Dacium is in the building. Just R and Paint, Yakar, and Shiraz Gabar. Shalom to the brothers and sisters. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. All right, let me get to the scripture. Let me bring the scripture up for y'all real quick. Get my Bible app on my computer. Bear with me 1 second. I'm trying to find it. Oh, here it is. All right. Let's share my screen real quick. Share my screen. Back to stage. All right. First verse I want to go to, of course, is a scripture that we all know very well. You know what I mean? We're going to Deuteronomy 7:6. Right? And this goes, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God had chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people upon the face of the earth. So I'm battling my family, right? We're going back and forth with the scripts over these past few days. And I bring this scripture up. And one of my cousins, they said, not my God, not my Jesus. Y'all know how it goes, man. They said God's not a racist and stuff like that. So I'll bring him to this verse, and I'm trying to explain, so I'm trying to break it down. Listen, Deuteronomy 7:6, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. You know what I mean? And that word holy, see, when he's talking to Christians, you have to break stuff down in bits and pieces. Like, they can't get it in bulk. You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to say they're slow, but they just don't have the comprehension quite yet. You know what I mean? So you have to break it down to them very slowly and very precise. The Lord our God has chosen thee, right? Even the fact of choosing something, right? You're separating it. For example, if I have 3 different flavors, let's say 3 different flavors, you know what I mean? Ice cream, chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. I'm going to choose the chocolate and the strawberry because, you know, we don't rock with vanilla. Right? I'm gonna choose chocolate. I'm separating that flavor from the other 2 flavors because I like that one the best. And that's a perfect example to understand how God chose the Israelites. You know what I mean? He chose us out of the Africans, out of the Hamites, out of the Edomites, you know what I mean, the Hittites, the Girgashites, you know what I mean, Amalek, Edomites. I already said Edomites, but y'all get the picture. You know what I mean? He separated us. You know what I mean? Then it goes on to say, unto a special people unto himself, right? So now we're special unto the Most High himself, right? And I'm sitting there trying to break it down to them, and they're just battling me. John 3:16, for God so loved the world. You know what I mean? I think like 4 of them said, not my Jesus, not my God. I said, this is your God. And I said, the God that you serve, what I should have done is put a picture of Caesar Borgia up there. I mean, like, this is the God y'all serve, Caesar Borgia. But the God of the Bible is a racist. And he separated us from that. I'm gonna read it for you one more time. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Damn, that's everybody. You know what I mean? And it's different when you go to John 3:16, where God said he so loved the world. This verse is so extra specific on who he's talking about. You know what I mean? He said, he's chosen thee to be a special people above all people upon the earth. You know what I mean? That's very specific on who he's talking about. There's no, like you can't interpret that no other way. You know what I mean? You can't use everybody like they try to use the world in John 3:16. They can't put everybody in there. You know what I mean? And if God loved everybody, why would he choose one race? Why? Ask yourself that, Christians. Why would he choose one race, right? It's because God is separatist, you know what I mean? And he's racist, you know what I mean? And it's not like the oppressor's racism, you know what I mean, who just does it for no reason, do it just straight hatred and jealousy. He chose us because of what our forefathers had done, right? He chose us because of what Jacob did, what Isaac did, and what Abraham did. That's why he chose us. It's the promise. I'm going to go ahead and get that verse. I believe it's in verse chapter 4.
Deuteronomy 4?
Yeah, where he talks about why he chose, because of the promise to Abraham. Well, I know it's in my Bible. 1 second, y'all. Bear with me. I know I got to highlight it. It's somewhere. Oh, Salaki, y'all. I know it's in here. I had it highlighted. Oh, found it. Oh, that's not the one I wanted. Hey, Salaki, you know what a verse where it says that Oh, I got it right here. Slaki, yo. I found it. Hey, Slaki, can you give me Deuteronomy? It's in chapter 7 as well. I'm going all over the place. It's literally the next one.
Deuteronomy
7 and 7, yeah.
7.
That's just funny. It's right there on my face. All right, go ahead.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 7. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you because you were more in number than any people.
Right.
For ye were the fewest of all people.
He says we were the fewest. We were the, you know what I mean? We were the baby nation. You know what I mean? We didn't even have a land to claim our own. You know what I mean? Abraham was a nomad, kind of. You know what I mean? The Most High God took Abraham from his family. He separated him from his family, right? And he said, go over here into the land of Ur, right? The land of Ur, to Chaldea. Oh, yeah.
Don't quote me on that, but I think it is.
All right. Yeah. Basically, he took Abraham, separated him, right? Keep going.
Verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
But because the Lord loved you.
Because the Lord what?
Loved you.
Exactly. The Lord loved us, the Israelites. 12 tribes of Israel. Go ahead.
And because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers.
Because he kept the oath which he swore to our fathers, man. He made an oath with Abraham that his seed will be like the sand of the earth, like the sand of the sea. Keep going.
Hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondage from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt?
That's it. So like we just read, you know what I mean? This is because of Abraham that we got this promise, that we got this blessing. You know what I mean? It's nothing we did. And then on top of that, our ancestors sat in front of Moses in front of the mountain, and we agreed to do this. We agreed to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. You know what I mean? So it's our duty now so once we wake up, can you give me Romans, know the verse I'm talking about, when it's high time to wake out of sleep? It's like 14 and 12. Right. So now once we wake up out of our deep sleep that we've been in for so long, we have to serve the Most High with our blood, sweat, and tears. You know what I mean? This has to be our first wife. You know what I mean? Our only wife, as what the Bible says, as what Paul was talking about. You know what I mean? This has got to be our first wife. We got to treat this work like it's our wife, man. You got that verse for me?
So the book of Romans, chapter 13 and verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
It said, now is the time to wake out of sleep, man. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I made a mistake. When I be talking to people in the world, I'll be like, listen, man, it's all, how do I put it? When they're not ready to come in, I'll be saying stuff like, you got time, you know what I mean? It's all in God's timing and dumb shit like that. But now I'm like, listen, now's the time to get out of sleep, man. Go ahead.
Kind of, if I could,
Yeah.
if I can make 2 quick points.
Absolutely.
What you're saying is heavy about, when you're talking to people who aren't ready necessarily.
Right.
Before I had got completely into the school, I would be talking to people about what I had learned, prematurely. And some of those conversations, before a brother or sister, and this is for anybody who listens and they're, want to tell people about the truth.
Right.
You should let the priests and prophets do all the talking. You should say, hey, check this video out. Because one of the mistakes I was initially making was saying stuff out of turn before I got, became an officer.
Yeah.
And I didn't know. And then, later Cap, set me straight. Captain Design set me straight, pretty much was like, you shouldn't be teaching. You should ... And then I listened to, pretty much the counsel that he told me. And then just by my actions, people turned it around. And then the second point, I was walking today, and this verse that you brought out is what I was thinking about, in a sense, because it's high time that we wake up. I haven't seen this many global, situations that have been so crazy. Like Blackwatch was talking about how the airman, Aaron, had set himself on fire.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard about that.
No, I hear about it yet.
So real quick, there was this airman that set himself on fire because he was mad about the atrocities that were being committed against the Palestinians. He was in the Air Force, and he set himself on fire. And then you have all these other instances of global, things that are happening since COVID, and people still don't understand that we should be waking up by now.
Right.
Like, you're absolutely right there. The time is being, shown to us that we are in the last days, and people should really wake up, like you're saying, Salah.
Nah, water for that, you know what I mean? That's a great point. People need to understand that war between Israel and Hamas right now, that's prepping for us. That's prepping for our salvation, you know what I mean? And I want as many brothers and sisters to be a part of this as they can get, as many as we can get before the nukes drop, you know what I mean? Like, I really want to see my family up there, but the way things is looking, man, it's looking real slim for some of them. I mean, I don't think they'll be able to escape the traps that the enemy has out there for them. You know what I mean? With like money and women and stuff like that. Like, because that's all Israelites is. I've been finding out that that's all they want is either money or sex and drugs. That's in there too. Money, sex, and drugs. Money, sex, and drugs. You know what I mean? I got one friend that all he does is talk about females. I'm like, dog, I like women just as much as you, bro. But you need to chill. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you need to chill. You know what I mean? Shit is not that deep. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to get around to talking to him about how to properly, like, I'm trying to tell him, listen, man, you can't just keep having sex with these women and just toss them aside when you get bored. You know what I mean? Let's get disrupting the family balance. You know what I mean? And that goes against Christ. You know what I mean? So that's just one of the things that I was doing. But can you read that verse from the top?
Sir. The book of Romans, chapter 13 and verse 11.
Right.
And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
Right. Now is the time, man. You don't have tomorrow to wait. You don't have 5 minutes from now. Now is the time. You know, you got something in the back of your head that's saying, listen, I need to go to class today. Or listen, I'll go next week. I'll go when I get this together. You know what I mean? My life isn't right now. I'll go when I have a better job. You know what I mean? That is the enemy right there talking to you. Because they don't want you to do it right now. They want you to keep on waiting and keep on waiting. And then it becomes a habit. Then you procrastinate. You know what I mean? Listen, the enemy loves procrastinations. procrastinating people, man. He wants you to put it off to the side. I'll do it later. Like you wasting more time. You're wasting more time. That was that was one of my problems when I first learned the truth. I was procrastinating. I was like, all right, I'll go later. I'll go next time. You know what I mean? One of the things I said when I was in the world, when I was looking at ISUPK, I was like, they don't need me. Like they don't need me out here. Like they particularly don't need me, but the people in the world need me. You know what I mean? And I cannot waste and squander this gift that the Most High has blessed me with. I mean, like it's such a blessing to have your eyes open and you actually realize the madness that's going on between us and the oppressor. You know what I mean? Keep going for me.
Sir.
So I can read it from the top again.
Yep. And that knowing the time that now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
Right.
For now is our salvation nearer
Absolutely.
than when we believe.
Exactly. Now our salvation is nearer than when we believe. You know what I mean? So when I go out there and I'm talking to people in the world, right, I'm like, listen, every day, every second, every minute that goes by, Christ is on his way back. Now our salvation is even nearer than when we believe. You know what I mean? And it's a miracle. And I commend the generals, especially Commander Johnny Hanna, who held on to this truth for so long when there was nobody in here but him and a few other people. You know what I mean? That takes a lot of tenacity. That takes a lot of just, I don't know, give me a word, Paul.
Resilience.
Yes, resilience. Excellent. No, you the smart one, man.
No,
You know, smart. A lot of resilience, you know what I mean? To be able to, endurance. Boom, endurance. That's a lot of endurance. You know what I mean? To endure all these years, you know what I mean? We finally see the school grown worldwide. You know what I mean? Was that the end of the verse?
No, that was the end. But what you said, if I could,
Absolutely.
about enduring is a heavy, heavy point. And this was one of my favorite verses coming up. It's in like Matthew 24:13.
Right.
And let me see. Matthew, it might start at 12. Let me just look up above.
I'm gonna get on my computer too. You said 24 and 12.
I think it's around there. There's two verses that are just like it, but it's like Matthew 24 and 13, and then let me see.
I see it. That's coming down.
Let me see. Let me make sure because there's two different ones. Let me make sure I got the right one. So I'll just quick if you want me to read Matthew 24:13.
Come on, I got it up.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
Absolutely. And did you want to read the second one?
I can't remember the second one where it was at. But it's hold on, let me see. Let me try to find it. It says something to the effect of the race is not given to the swift.
I think that's Philippians. It sounds like Philippians. Or one of those.
But that was let me see.
But
Ecclesiastes 9 and 11. I think I might have found it in Ecclesiastes.
Yeah, but that verse.
No, that's not it.
But that verse you brought out was heavy though, man. Those that endure to the end shall be saved. You know what I mean? You got to endure to the end. You got to endure hardships. You know what I mean? You got to endure the temptations that the devil, the oppressor, is going to send at you. You know what I mean? And it's always going, listen, what's your most, okay, how can I put this so it makes sense? What's the most, oh man, I'm trying to figure out how to put this, man. The thing you struggle with the most is what Satan and his angels and the oppressor is going to send at you. That is going to be the thing that attacks you the hardest. You know what I mean? Like who you were inside the world, whatever sin you struggle with the most and the hardest, that is the one that's going to come after you the strongest. I mean, for example, one of mine is women, right? So like ever since I got into the truth, the only women that have been trying to come at me, like really trying to lock down with me, is oppressors and married women.
Yep.
Exactly. It's crazy. And it's a crazy combo, man, because you know what I mean? And they just have everything all lined up perfect for you. You know what I mean? This one Edomite said, listen, all I gotta do is just stay there. Everything paid for, all I gotta do is show up.
That was Satan.
I know, right?
Good night.
And they come slack it, and they come thick too, man. Like shorties be, I mean, like, slack it, you know what I mean? The women be looking good.
Trying to line you up.
I know, right?
Slack it.
But I need the resilience and the endurance to say la to her, because I know the end result. One, I'll be kicked out of school. Second, the Most High might murk me. You know what I mean? Like I can't go out like that. You know what I mean? And I love my people more than I love the oppressors. You know what I mean? I have way more love for Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian women than for some nasty oppressor. Because truthfully, the oppressors' women are the biggest whores. So let's put it out there, man. They are the number one whores, man. Fun fact, listen, y'all, peep this, right? I was scrolling through the internet on Facebook and Instagram, and you know they have like the Instagram Reels. Do you know there is a record out there for a lady who slept with the most men in a day? And do y'all know how many men she slept with? If anybody wants to take a guess, let me know. You can write it right there. You can write it in the chat. If anybody wants to take a guess, cool. You want to take a guess? What the record is?
60?
Higher. It's not 60. It's higher. Listen. We're talking about the oppressor right now. The biggest whore in a day.
Good night.
In a day. You won't guess this number. The number is crazy, son. I'm trying to tell you.
What is it?
The number is 919 men in a day. 919.
What is happening with this?
What? She set a world record. 919 bodies in a day.
I pray the Most High did not let that heathen get away unscathed after doing that. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Yo, that is the oppressor. That is the oppressor's daughter, man. She slept with 919 men in a day. 24-hour period. It's crazy, son. Nasty work, nasty. You know what I mean? So you one of those too? I appreciate you.
Sure.
You're right, guys.
Because I thought to ask when I was like, but Salaki, if I could.
Yeah, go ahead.
And the reason why I'm even saying that, because somebody might say, oh, that's messed up. He said he praised the Most High, didn't let her get away unscathed.
Yes.
But just think about it. When people get away with doing evil, when people commit evil, they deserve evil. Otherwise, if somebody gets away with that, you'll have the next person, maybe even one of our people, trying to break that record. Mm-hmm. But if this particular, person is stricken with like AIDS or hepatitis or some, outbreak of super
gonorrhea.
Yeah, super gonorrhea. Yeah. That you can live vicariously through that person and say, you know what? That is insane. And Salakia, I remember there was this program at my school to where they showed us like sexually transmitted diseases. It was like sex education, but it was to the next level. They was like, let's try this program in the high schools and see how it works out. What volunteers want to learn about this stuff? Right. And the stuff that they showed me that happens as a result of unprotected, intercourse, right, changed my life. Like it made me go, you know what? I'm gonna be careful out here. Facts. Because there were some things that looked like frosted flakes. Frosted flakes. It looked crazy. It looked crazy. It looked like a mountainous range of something hideous. Yeah. I said, I can't do that. But Salaki, yeah, I pray the Most High, gave that person exactly what they deserve, because good night. I don't know if he, I don't know. 919. She needs that many bumps. Listen, Salaki. I know, it's crazy, right?
I'm like, God damn, like your self-esteem is shit. You know what I mean? It's like your self-esteem is trash. You know what I mean? Like, what would make you think to even set that kind of record? Like, why do you put that under your belt? You know what I mean? Like, look what I got. You know what I mean? And they gave second place. Lady came up and like, I forget how much he had, but they gave the second place lady a fucking little tiny ass badge like this big, dog. I was like, damn, disrespect.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, man. So listen, do not be like the oppressors women. You don't want that. You know what I mean? I'm telling y'all, all your brothers out there, or you sisters out there, don't do it. You're gonna end up in prison. You're gonna have an STD. You know what I mean? She's gonna call the cops on you. She's going to give you herpes, HIV, or AIDS. You know what I mean? You're going to get killed. You're going to get shot because there's going to be some jealous ass oppressor out there. You know what I mean? Because you got some average. You know what I mean? And most of the time, y'all brothers out there, you get the ugly oppressor anyway. You know what I mean? The fat, nasty ones. You know what I mean? But just in case you might be a brother that got one of the so-called good ones, you're going to get killed for it. You're going to get killed for it. You're going to get killed for it.
Unalive.
Yeah. Oh, unalive. I thought that was only for TikTok though.
No, I think you can still get that for YouTube. I'll check into it. All right, I'll check into it.
It's like you definitely going to get unalive. You know what I mean? And it's sad because every time I see a interracial couple, I think back on Rosewood. You know what I mean? Y'all familiar with Rosewood, right? When the whole city was burned down because of a depressor lied on a black man.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think about Emmett Till, what they did to him. You know what I mean? Like these kind of images pop back into my head. You know what I mean? And I was recently looking at the Central Park 5. You know what I mean? I was thinking about the Central Park 5 have all 5 of those young brothers. They was all teenagers. You know what I mean? And one brother got tried as an adult, and he got sent to an adult prison. And I was just sit back, and I was just thinking, like, damn, you know what I mean? All this over over an oppressor. You know what I mean? And those brothers was innocent. They didn't do anything to the, you know what I mean? But the whole nation was against those 5 brothers. And they got sent to prison. Man. Sad. It's sad, really. All right. Let's go to Matthew. I want to say 10 and 34. I think that's where I want to go. Matthew 10.
So we wouldn't mind nobody for real, because what you're talking about today, like at least 3 topics I was literally on a long car ride to work thinking about, because I saw this oppressor running.
Yeah.
And I literally had that thought, like, we gotta be careful out here, because if they're walking, they're clutching their purses, like we're trying to do something to them. If you startle them by accident or they do something, they can just cry wolf and have us locked up.
Absolutely.
At least when we want to hear what you're saying.
Absolutely. And it's crazy that you said that, right? Because you think, because we're protected by the Most High, you know what I mean, from certain situations, right? But if you are a brother that knows the truth, right, and you come against these laws, statutes, and commandments, the Most High is going to send those demons after you. You know what I mean? Like you're going to get into some type of trouble. And it's going to catch you so off guard. People are like, what just happened here? You know what I mean? That's Most High's judgment coming towards you. Like the scripture says that when a man's ways please the Lord, even his enemies will be at peace with you, right? So when you disobey the Most High, he's going to make sure your ops find you. You're going to get caught. You know what I mean? You're going to get into a fight and you're going to lose. You're going to get possibly unalive. You're going to be embarrassed. You know what I mean? You are going to lose when you disobey the Most High. Like, he is coming after you. You know what I mean? Also, the scriptures say God is not mocked. You know what I mean? God is not mocked. You got to keep that in the back of your head when when you out there in the world, you know what I mean? You stepping into dangerous in the enemy territory. God is not mocked. All right, but let's move on to Matthew 10 and 34, right?
KAAHSH, sir.
Right.
The book of Matthew, chapter 10 and verse 34.
Uh-huh.
I have to switch to another page. Give me 1 second.
That's right.
The book of Matthew, chapter 10 and verse 34.
Uh-huh.
Think not that I am come to send peace on earth.
Right, Christ. So getting back to my family chat, you know what I mean? They said something to me like, "Oh, you trying to make it seem like the God is about war and about peace." So I hit him with this. You know, from the top, so I can.
KAAHSH, sir. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth.
Right, Christ ain't come here to bring peace. You know what I mean? That kumbaya, I almost cussed against like that kumbaya, that kumbaya stuff, man. This God loves everybody. You know what I mean? We're all the same blood. What else do they say? You know, we all bleed red. Listen, God ain't come for peace. All that peace talk, man. Keep going.
I came not to send peace, but a sword.
Christ is coming to send a sword, right? And what that sword is physical and it's spiritual.
Right.
Physical and then later, it's spiritual now. You know what I mean? And we're going to find out why. Keep going. Verse 35.
Verse 35.
Mm-hmm.
For I am come to set a man at variance against his father.
Right? He said it, a man against his father. You know what I mean? Like I said, in my group chat, they voted me to evict me out the family. You know what I mean? Why did they do it? Because I'm standing on God's laws. I'm teaching them God's laws and God's ways, and they're tired of hearing me. They're tired of hearing me talk about all this UPK type stuff. You know what I mean? Listen, my mom hit my line and was like, she still calling me by my slave name, you know what I mean? She hit my line and was like, listen, leave your family alone. And I said, why? Because it's disrespectful to them. You know what I mean? Your brother, she was like, your brother's half white and stuff like this. I'm like, I didn't bring him up. All I did was post a video and post a script. That's all. You know what I mean? Don't get mad at me because of what God says. This is what the Bible says, you know what I mean? And this is what Christ is talking about. He's going to separate you from your family. Why? Because your family don't know no better. He chose you to come out the darkness. He chose you to do it. You know what I mean? Just thank the Most High that your eyes is open and your ears is open. Keep going.
And the daughter against the mother.
And the daughter against her mother, man. And I know women have always been, regardless, you know what I mean? They always button heads with each other. You know what I mean? My baby sister, my mother, they always fought growing up. Always fought about the dumbest stuff. You know what I mean? And now you're going to throw the Bible in the mix? And now, especially for a woman, like you're a woman in the truth, you know what I mean? Your family in the world, they be like, you share your husband? God damn, he has 2 wives?
Oh,
and you want to be the second one? You know what I mean? Oh, they'd be like, oh, he has kids with you and her? How are we going to take care of both of y'all? And that is an attack of the enemy because as a sister in the school, you know what the Bible says. You know what I mean? You know that David had more than 1 wife. You know Solomon had more than 1 wife. Gideon had more than 1 wife. Moses had more than 1 wife. You know what I mean? Christ even gave a parable about having multiple wives. You know what I mean? But these are the things that's coming to attack us to get us out the truth. Why? And why do we want to get out the truth? Because they know we're living a better life than them. Because we're taking a stand for what Christ is doing. You know what I mean? And most recently, there's been this song coming out. Her name is China. Oh, what's her name, man?
China Monet.
China Monet, right? It's like the water said. Her name is China Monet, and she made a song out there called "She Cooks, She Cleans, She F's, and She Shuts Up." Now, I mean, I'm scrolling through the comments, and I'm looking at somebody called her a pick-me. I'm like, why wouldn't you want to be a pick-me? Like, there was a time when women wanted to be picked. Now they're bashing women for wanting to be cuffed. You know what I mean? Like, I thought that was what women wanted. You don't want to settle down, but you want to be in the streets all your life. You know what I mean? Like, how old can you be? You want to be 30 plus. You're 30 years old. You still in the club. You know, you dropping it low. Like, it's crazy. Go ahead.
Salakia, being a lonely, bitter bitch.
Yeah.
Salakia for my language, but being lonely and bitter and upset because another woman is willing to be submissive and actually keep and have a man.
Right.
Like, you're right. What type of woman doesn't want to be picked? I guess they want to be alone. So when that door handle is jiggling, they got to defend themselves.
Exactly.
My rib don't got to go downstairs, or excuse me, don't got to, check the hallway if we hear a weird noise.
Exactly. And it's crazy. And it's crazy that you say that. You know what I mean? Because once the world starts really going into chaos, these women in the world, they're going to realize how much value a man is. Like, you know what I mean? Because you've been here. I seen this lady talking about she's stocking up food in her crib, right? I said, that's food for the mob. You know what I mean? That's food for the mob. They're going to come and take. First of all, they're going to rape you because you're stupid and dumb. You know what I mean? Slakia. They're going to, can we say assault?
S.A. I think they say,
okay. They're going to,
Salakia. You know what? I'm going to just get a list of the things, the translations of what we should say. Because most of the people, like I see online, because even online, any platform, they normally say, like, they say grape.
Okay, grape now.
They're saying grape. I don't like saying that. That's weird. I just say assault.
They're going to take advantage of you. All right, they're going to come into the crib and they're going to see you. You in the crib talking about you stocked up all the food and water. Yes, sir. They're going to take advantage of you. They're going to eat your food, then take advantage of you again. Eat your food, they take advantage of you again, and they're going to leave you. Matter of fact, they'll probably take the crib too, kick you out on the street, and they'll live in there.
Salakia, she basically preparing for a food drive.
Exactly, you know what I mean? A shelter. She got a shelter over. You know what I mean? I don't understand, man. But it's going to listen, man. This is why the Bible says when the day the Lord returns, it's going to be a dark day, man. It's going to be a dark day, and I pray that sisters continue to stick by their husbands. And not let the world trick them out of here, man. Do not let the world get inside your head, sisters. And brothers too, you know what I mean? Do not let the world get inside your head. Because truthfully, they're not living their best life. They're miserable. You know what I mean? There's just so much dumb crap online. But anyway, let's get back to the verse, right?
You want me to start from the top of 35?
Khan, yeah, it works. Start 35.
For I come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother,
right?
And the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law.
Exactly, right.
And a man's foes.
A man's who?
A man's foes,
right,
shall be they of his own household.
Yeah, man. He says your own foes is going to be them of your own household, man. Let that sink in for a bit. This is Christ talking to you. Your foes is going to be your family first. And it's so accurate. You know what I mean? Listen, Christ ain't never miss. He was spot on everything he said. Right, headshot. Your foes are going to be those of your own household, man. That is your first enemy. And it's sad that it has to be like that. You know what I mean? But also, this is who Christ is talking about when he says we must forgive each other. You know what I mean? We have to forgive our family. He wasn't talking about forgiving the oppressor for slavery. You know what I mean? I don't forgive the oppressor for anything they do. Sidebar. Recently, I had at my slave, right? I'm a supervisor. So I had this little Edomite, about 19, dirty looking boy too. All these tattoos all over his body. You know what I mean? Halfway LGBT. So he comes up to me and he calls me boy in a Southern accent. For those of you who don't know, may not know, but boy is an old slave term that they use down in the South, right? So don't let nobody call you that. So I had to check him for it. I'm like, yo, what you just called me? He said, oh. I was just playing, you know what I mean? Me and my friends say that to each other all the time, right? And I gave him that look like a cracker. You know what I mean? Punch him right in his mouth. Next thing you know, he gets fired out the blue. I'm like, that's justice right there. You know what I mean? The Most High will eliminate people out your way because they mess with you. You know what I mean? And I didn't have to do anything. I ain't got to put my hands on them. You know what I mean? The Most High God said He'll get revenge for us. You know what I mean? But you have to be obeying these laws, statutes, and commandments, first of all. You know what I mean? All right, quick, done with that story. But read 36 again.
And a man's foes shall be they of his own household.
Shall be his own household, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, when I first started doing this, I was about 20 years old, right? And I didn't celebrate Christmas for the first year. Boom, all hell broke loose, man. They was like, you're doing it because you don't want to buy nobody no more gifts. You know what I mean? You're doing it because you're selfish. I'm like, I'm getting barked at from left and right. You know what I mean? Boom, boom, boom. What? You're not gonna eat this. You're not gonna eat that. They thought I was faking the whole time. They thought I wasn't serious, but I proved them wrong. Now I'm 30 years old, right? Holding it down. 10 years strong, man. I don't celebrate Christmas no more. I don't eat pork. I don't eat lobster. I don't eat shrimps. You know what I mean? I don't eat none of that. That's how you got to do it. You know what I mean? And eventually, they're the ones who is going to have to accept the change, not me. I'm not budging. You know what I mean? And that's how hard-headed you got to be when it comes to the Christian doctrine. You know what I mean? When you're battling against it, you got to be hard-headed in the truth. Listen, my God says not to celebrate birthdays. I'm not doing it. I don't care how much love. I don't care. Every year, they come back to me with the same tactic. Don't you love me? La 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 di da di da. Like, yeah, but I love the Most High more. Don't y'all love the Most High more, right? I mean, we all got our Hebrew names in here, right? We love the Most High more. So we should obey Christ rather than men. Doesn't matter what they say. Doesn't matter. Because they said they're going to be our enemies anyway, right? And of course, Christ was quoting from the Old Testament. Once again, so I could give you Micah 7:6. Christ is always speaking from the Old Testament, you know what I mean? Because that's what he taught out of. He taught out the book of the law, you know what I mean? The Old Testament, what Christians say that is done away with. You know what I mean? He taught out this book. Let me get that with you real quick. Micah 7:6. So like it. All right, you ready?
The book of Micah, chapter 7, verse 6. For the son dishonoreth the father.
Son dishonoreth the father. We've seen that daily. You know what I mean? What I notice is that if you have a single like a single mom, right? She's going to speak bad about the parent, about the father, mostly. You know what I mean? And they'll try to pin the father, the son against the father. You know what I mean? To make the father like he's such a problem. Like it was all his fault for not being there. But really, the mom was being a dragon. You know what I mean? They don't like to speak about her part in all this. You know what I mean? But with that man being disrespected, he shouldn't be belittled so much. You know what I mean? And it's just hard for a man to get disrespected and embarrassed constantly and talk down to like a child in his own home. You know what I mean? You treat him like he's not a man. He's going to leave. And I didn't really understand it when I was growing up. You know what I mean? Especially when you get put on child support behind BS and not an actual you know what I mean? Like you put him on child support because you're mad or you just want to vex his life some more. You know what I mean? You have no real reason to do it. You're just doing it out of spite. I didn't understand that growing up. But as I got older and I entered to the UPK, I started understanding things better. I understand logic, you know what I mean? And how relationships are supposed to work and why women do this and why men do that, you know what I mean? And truthfully, men and women, we both need healing. You know what I mean? Like we both effed up for real. But all right, can you continue that verse for me?
Sir. The daughter riseth up against her mother.
Mm-hmm.
The daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law.
Right.
A man's enemies are the men of his own house.
Of his own house. This is where Christ got it from. He's quoting from the Old Testament, man. He's quoting from the Old Testament because the Bible also says that nothing is new under the sun. People have been doing this since the beginning of time, man. We talking about, I want to say Cain and Abel. You know what I mean? Cain not listening to his father's commandments. You know what I mean? But he jealous of Abel. You know what I mean? Imagine that. You mad at your brother for doing his part. Like, he wasn't even affecting you. You know what I mean? With Cain and Abel. He wasn't even messing with you. He was over there tilling it. He was tilling the ground, right? Abel. You had the ground with the animals. Abel was tilling the ground, wasn't he? You had the fruits and stuff.
Don't get me lying.
All right, no problem, no sweat. Abel had the more perfect sacrifice. That's what I remember. Abel had the more perfect sacrifice. His stuff didn't have no blemish. But Cain, on the other hand, he was giving God trash. He was giving God trash. You know what I mean? And like, goddamn, didn't you murk your brother because he gave a better sacrifice than you when you could have done the same thing? What a lunatic, man. That's some hating ass shit right there. Oops, like that's some hating stuff right there, man. But anyway, and that's what happens when you serve the Lord correctly. Yeah, man, your brother going to try to kill you, man. But we have to be prepared for that. All right. Let me get to my next verse real quick. 1 second, y'all. All right. All right, can you give me Matthew 12 and 47? Matthew 12 and 47. We're here on my computer too as well. 1 second, y'all. Matthew 12. Matter of fact, we start at verse 46.
The book of Matthew, chapter 12 and verse 46. While he yet talked to the people, behold, his mother and his brethren stood without,
right,
desiring to speak with him.
Right, to give you the context, his brother and his brother want to come talk to him, right? Go ahead.
Then one said unto him, behold, thy mother and thy brethren stand without, desiring to speak with thee.
Yeah, so man, he got the crowd talking to him, man. Somebody in the crowd said, hey, Christ, or Yahweh Shai, listen, man, your brother, your mother, and your brother want to come talk to you, right? 48.
But he answered and said unto him that told him,
what?
Who is my mother?
Who is my mother? Go ahead.
And who are my brethren?
Who are my brethren, right? Damn, this is really deep, right? So Christ is talking to some random person. He says, listen, your mother and your brothers out there looking for you. And Christ turned around and they got this dude had to be confused, right? Because everybody didn't understand Christ's parables. You know what I mean? So he turned around to this cat and he says, who is my mother? Who is my brother? And he just like, and I would just point, you know what I mean, Mary and Joseph. Like, these dudes over here is your mother and your brother, right? Keep going.
And he stretched forth his hand toward his disciples.
Damn, he stretched forth his hands to his disciples, man. Keep going.
And said, behold, my mother, and my brethren. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father,
right,
which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother.
Damn, that's heavy. So he pointed to his disciples, right? He said, Peter's my brother. He said, Paul's my brother. He said, Bartholomew, whatever his name is, Slovakia.
I know Andrew was one of them.
Andrew?
Right. Andrew,
I don't know.
Slovakia. I gotta get them 12 disciples.
I know, right? We forget. Can't forget those brothers. He said, those are my brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? So when I'm looking at my camp, I say, Paul's my brother.
Damn right.
I say Isaiah Ward is my brother. I say Captain Zion is my father. Officer Dasayam is my father. Officer Mataziala is my brother. That's who my brother and sister is, those who do the will of Christ. You see, that's why I didn't get upset. Somebody in the world would have got upset if their family tried to vote them out. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if everybody's mental capacity, you know what I mean, how mentally up here mentally stable you are up there, you know what I mean, when shit hits the fan. Nah, but me, I'm cool. You know what I mean? I know I got a spot to go to if I get kicked out my crib. You know what I mean? I know I could probably stay with all. I'd probably go to Isaiah Ward's house, you know what I mean? I know we got barracks in ISBK Delaware, right, to stay at. You know what I mean? Because this is where my family is at, truthfully. This is my family. Now, granted, I respect my brothers and my sister in the world, you know what I mean, and my mother and my father. I still love them. But when it comes to the truth, when it comes to the Bible, this is my family right here. So unfortunately, these brothers in here, they take priority. They will take priority over everything. You know what I mean? And I pray everybody understands that. I pray they understand that. You know what I mean? That's why they need help in getting here. So I can start treating them like they're my actual brother. You know what I mean? Not just anything. My actual mother. You know what I mean? I'll treat y'all better if y'all get in here. If y'all watching the class, you know what I mean? I'll treat y'all better. You know what I mean? But can you read that verse again?
Sir.
Let's start at verse 48.
Verse 48.
Mm-hmm.
But he answered and said unto him that told him, who is my mother?
Uh-huh.
And who are my brethren?
Right.
And he stretched forth his hand towards his disciples and said, behold, my mother and my brethren. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father, which is in heaven, the same is my mother and sister, and Salakia, my brother and sister and mother.
Exactly. And I know I reiterate this, but listen, man, this brotherhood and sisterhood is important. That's who my family is, you know what I mean? And I respect and I care about everybody in the ISUPK, especially ISUPK Delaware. You know what I mean? I look at all of them like they're my brothers. You know what I mean? Like my fathers, you know what I mean? And my mothers and my sisters, you know what I mean? My aunties, my uncles, my nieces. I look at all that, you know what I mean? Now, I know all this stemmed from my family group chat, you know what I mean? Because we're standing on the laws of God when I'm in there talking to them. And they use such strong words, like evicted is such a strong word. Like, I mean, like an eviction notice, that's like, man, damn, you get evicted from your family? My God. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. But, you know what I mean? Interracial dating, listen, there is a powerful demon behind interracial dating, man. Y'all gonna end up looking like Serena Williams out here. We have all that money, all that fame, and you look miserable. You look like you about to die. You need to get yourself together. Go ahead.
Salakia, you just made me think of something.
Yeah.
When you said the interracial dating thing. Because we in ISUPK know that the Lord does not want us, the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, doing that. Holly Berry, you know, I saw, a meme that came up.
Yeah.
And I may need to verify it a little further, but she has to pay child support to her ex, who is a oppressor.
Yeah.
And she said, I don't feel right having to pay child support to someone who calls me the N-word.
Nigger?
Yeah.
God, couldn't call a nigger. Is that a strike?
I know that's one of the words.
Well, I mean, I think, I don't know.
We'll find out.
Yeah, I'm about to be in, nobody take me to council. I'll probably do no more classes after this.
But Salaki, Holly Berry, she said, I don't feel right having to pay child support to someone who calls me the N-word.
Damn.
And I saw that meme pop up and I was like, this can't be real.
That's tough.
It's crazy.
Man.
To show you can mess around and have a child with one of these oppressors.
Yeah.
You can mess around and be married to one of them. And I know people who have been married to oppressors, and the oppressor is still inherently racist, and will get comfortable enough around their significant other, right, to be saying some downright disgusting things in front of them.
I understand. You know what I mean? And also, I haven't, to this day, like, I personally don't know any interracial couple that lasted. Like, I don't know anyone that ever did one that they not married for 20 plus years. You know what I mean? They get married and get called the N-word. That gotta be tough. You know what I mean? He probably started that as soon as he locked in with her. You know what I mean? On a wedding night, you think, you know, you better have a ball, man. He come out with the whipping chains and he call you the N-word.
Good night.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, God dang.
Call her dead wench.
Dead wench.
Slavery times. Good night.
That gotta be a rough situation. And of course, and our people, they really believe that they're in love, so she probably put up with it for a little bit, but you know what I mean? Dang, soon as the divorce comes, now he getting child support. I know why OJ did what he had to do. I don't know. I'm not sure what he did, but he did something, man, and he got away. All right, he got away. OJ, man, he knew, man. That's a tough brother. Damn, man. Can you imagine? Like, you spent your whole life. Listen, OJ is tough. Can you imagine? You think you about to spend the rest of your life with, you know what I mean? Your one true love. A year into your marriage, you getting called an N-word. You know what I mean? He treating you like a slave. I don't know what to tell you, but that's how this whole thing started. You know what I mean? Because once again, my family, they was mad that I was talking about this. You know what I mean? Because I think we all have somebody who is dated outside their race in our family. You know what I mean, right? And they might have what we call biracial children. So I'm sitting here breaking down the laws of God to them, talking about we can't do that. We can't. Matter of fact, let's get that verse real quick. Deuteronomy 7 and verse 30. Let's get that verse real quick, right? So I have posted this joint in my group chat. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, let's start at verse 2, so we get the context. You know what I mean? Because my family was big on context. They was like, Jay, what's the context? What's the context? I'm going to show you the context. Matter of fact, let's start at verse 1.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 1, right? When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou go to possess it, and have cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, and the Girgashites,
right,
and the Amorites,
go ahead,
and the Canaanites,
right,
and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou.
And so wait, I thought God loved everybody. Why are he trying to send them out their nation? I mean, why is God trying to kick them out their land? This is the kind of stuff you got to ask Christians, man. Like, why is God doing? If God loves everybody, because we know that God does not change, right? We know that verse. He says God does not change. He's the same as today, yesterday, and tomorrow, right? So this verse isn't going to change. He's going to cast out many nations before you, right? Verse 2.
Verse 2. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them.
Smite them. Damn, does that sound like love to you?
Wow.
Don't sound like love to me either. Listen, if I'm reading this Bible, right? Can you imagine if you're one of these ancient nations, like if you're a person in back, right? And you're known as a Girgashite, and you pick an Israelite scroll up, and you read Deuteronomy 7 and 2, and he says you're gonna smite them and utterly destroy them, and you're part of that nation. You bugging me. You think I'm gonna stay there? Go ahead.
That Salakia.
Verse 2.
Verse 2. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them.
Damn.
And utterly destroy them.
Utterly destroy them. That's completely destroyed. Go ahead.
Thou shalt make no covenant with them.
We don't make no covenant with the oppressor, man. No other nations, man. I'm not making promises to any of them. I'm not promising them nothing, man. They asked me. I had a listen. At my slave, right? My bosses are mostly oppressors. They be like, Jay, you doing overtime? No, I'm not doing overtime ever for y'all. A little sidebar. Go ahead, verse 3. Never doing overtime.
Nor show mercy unto them.
Nor show mercy, man. They don't show no mercy to them, man. I used to see like homeless oppressors on the street, and I would used to give them some money. I had a few dollars on me, you know what I mean? But not anymore. I don't give them nothing, man. I don't show no mercy to them, man. Because they're not gonna show mercy on us. If it was the other way around, it wouldn't happen. Keep going, verse 3.
Verse 3.
Neither
shalt thou make marriages with them.
Neither shalt thou make marriages with them, man. See, and this is where it all started from in my family group chat, man. This is why they want to kick me out. Because God said, don't make marriages with them. Go ahead.
Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son.
Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son. And what that racist pastor said, you know what I mean? The old oppressor said, he said this exact same thing. He said he's not going to marry white women and black men. And he's right to do that. He should separate them too. You know what I mean? Because I wouldn't do it either. You know what I mean? If I was a pastor, you can't come to me and I'm going to marry y'all. What? Must be smoking. Go ahead.
Nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
Right.
For they will turn away thy son from following me.
And that's exactly what's going to happen, man. You're going to get with these other nations and you're going to end up serving Caesar Borgia. That's all you're going to do. You're going to get with a Moabite and you're going to get with a Moabite and you are going to start eating cats and worshiping Buddha. You know what I mean? You're going to get with an East Indian and you're going to get nasty dreadlocks in your hair. You know what I mean? To their god Shiva. And you're going to go to the rat temple in India where they have rats running around all throughout their temple. And it's rat droppings all over the floor. It's rats walking inside where they cook at, all up in the pots and pans, you know what I mean? They digging the food and stuff like that. Go ahead.
Salaki. Have you seen these videos online where they're doing stuff with their bare feet?
Yeah.
And they're putting their whole wrist to the forearm and they got nasty hands making the food.
Wish it in the sauce, man. Like, nasty.
Come on, let's go get some East Indian curry.
I don't know.
What's the guy saying on Instagram with extra wrist sauce? Wow. I haven't eaten there since I saw it.
I know, like I've never even looked at Indian food like I want to eat that crap, man. But once I seen the video, you seen the one where the dude was like sticking the food in his goddamn underarm, man. Yeah. He was like rolling the dough in his underarm. I'm like, dog, this is you're gonna marry East India. You're gonna go to India. You're gonna get that nasty street food, man, with flies, and it is so the hygiene is just nasty, and not to mention the rat temple. You're gonna go and worship their gods. Go to the rat temple, man. Or you go to a nasty African, man. I hate them, boy. Go and get your lip. Listen, man, you're gonna go give it an African, right? You're gonna go get your lip stretched out and put one of those big ass plates in your lip. You know what I mean? You put a bone in your lip and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's wild what some of the stuff they do over there. Not for me, man. I'm gonna stick to my Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian women, man. They might be a little fiery, might be a little feisty sometimes, but I mean, I can handle that. I can't handle the rat temple. You're not gonna take me there. But yeah, they said we're gonna give them to serve other guys. Keep going.
That they may serve other gods. Yeah. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you.
Kindled against you.
And destroy these suddenly.
And destroy these suddenly, man. And that is the basis of what we're going to be talking about tonight, man. Listen, once you stand on these laws, statutes, and commandments, your family's going to feel some type of way. They are. And there's really nothing you can do about it. But at the end of the day, we know who our brothers and sisters are. You know what I mean? It's everybody in the ISUPK. I don't care if you in ISUPK Britain, you know what I mean, or London, you in Jamaica, you all the way down to Washington, you know what I mean, or it's California. I really want to go to ISUPK Mexico. I really want to visit them, man. I mean, I got my Hispanic brothers down there, and we got brothers on the reservations, man. We got brothers and sisters everywhere, man. Because that is who our family is, and that's what we're building. We're building a brotherhood and sisterhood here, you know what I mean? So, listen, man, stay strong on this word, you know what I mean? Do not let them try to take you out, you know what I mean? Because they want you to live their miserable, horrible life that God is going to destroy anyway, you know what I mean? God's going to destroy that anyway. With that being said, we're going to pass the class over to Priest and Officer Kaal. Get this camera.
The water. This is an excellent class, by the way. This is the ISUPK security announcements. Rules for new brothers and new sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are to be saluted only. They are off limits for 6 months. When a brother or sister, they are here to shed themselves in the world. That's why they're off limits for 6 months. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has a particular interest in a person, they are to seek counsel from the heads. Next, we want to remember tithes, which is a commandment, which can be found in Malachi 3, 8-10, and also Numbers 18 and 21. In the Hebrew, it means ma'ashara, which is 10% of every increase the Lord gives you. Next, we do have a priest fund or a free will offering, which is not mandatory, but is greatly appreciated. It can even be a bottle because we are not Christians and we do drink strong, liquor. As well as that, we do have the up and coming Holy Convocation, which is the Passover. That is April 20th. That is in Durham, North Carolina. And there are a lot of good events that surround that. I know about the Black Party. And if the next announcements that we have, I'll announce the other events once I find out what they are. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, remember to wear all black boots, pants, shirt, and headband. With that being said, men of Israel, Almighty, which means to stand. Amadu Shabbat, Almighty, Barak, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh, Shabbat, Yajmatah. We're going to start. Give the sisters a courtesy salute. Sisters, Almighty, which means to stand. Men of Israel, Almighty Shabbat, Almighty, Barak, Shamar, Yahweh, Salaki. Shamar, Yahweh, Salaki. I messed it all up. No problem. Shalom, Yahweh, Shamar, Aladam, Bashim, Yahweh Shai. With that being said, class dismissed.